So as you can tell, it's kind of hard to see here kind of where the middle of things are and where the walkway should be in relationship to the road and everything like that. Those are all tough things to kind of see initially. But we're going to use a little trick to help us. Let's go to the first floor plan. And what I'm going to do, if you remember, I can use on the architecture tab a model line on here from the middle of my revolving door. I'm just going to pull it out, right? And it says you can't see me. Well, I know I can't see you, but if I go to my site plan, I sure can because model lines show up in 3D views. So there's the middle. That's where I need to kind of work from for my door, right? For my revolving door. So what I can do now is say, hey, I'm going to do another subregion, right? So I'm going to go to my topo tab. Let me try from over here. There we go. And then I can say, well, I'm sorry. Um, let's do a topo surface. Oh, not a topo surface. Boy, sorry, a subregion. Apologize. So now I can do another subregion. And what I can do is say, I want from maybe the middle of here, I want my path to be, I know I need to come down at least probably 10 feet. Let's just do 10 feet on each side, right? And I'm super close to the road. So what you're going to see is we're going to have to shift things a little bit, but that's okay. Let's build our walkway. So I'm going to come away from this. I'm going to offset this maybe about 8 feet, right? See how that goes over into the road? So we're going to have to do some adjusting, people, so that we can have a walkway. Because if I do that there and that there, right? And I say I want my walkway to come down at least to the end of the building on this side, so that people walking from the parking lot can cross the street. I'll get it to about to the close to the edge of the building as I can. Maybe I can, yeah, it lets me snap and draw a line like that. That's great. And then I can just trim that up, right? And that'll kind of be the end of my pathway. And then on the other side, I can do the same thing down over here. And maybe this subregion is going to do something a little different, right? Maybe this subregion is going to be an area where people can walk down and they can sit outside and maybe eat in this area over here. So I'm going to make another portion of my subregion over here. And I'm going to get some decent dimensions on there that we can kind of see. Maybe from the edge of the building, I want to just come out maybe 5 feet or so, right? I can move that. That's a nice thing about drawing detail lines and things like that. You can make them work for you because you don't want this path necessarily to be right up against the building. Maybe you want some shrubs or something in here. Same could be true over on this side. Come over 5 feet, come up, trim that up, right? And maybe I'll come off the edge of the building here, right? And then I can go trim here to here and here to here. That's an 8-foot path, right? And so seeing that now, if I do that, right, subregions cannot intersect. So I'm going to hit cancel. And for right now, I'm going to draw this in some more. I'm going to pull this in and say, I'm going to move it 2 feet because they cannot intersect, right? And I knew that. Let's go in 3 feet for right now and then finish that. Okay. Now I want to say this subregion, I'm going to edit that one and say that I am going to pull all of this back, right, a few feet. I'm going to grab all of that right there, just that part, and say I'm going to move this from where it's at right now. I'm going to move it 4 feet, right? And that's okay. That gives us enough room between the edge of our sidewalk and there. I'm going to say finish. Whoops. Oh, I got another intersecting one. Sticky situation here. Let's do this because I can put those other ones in. Let's go ahead and move it to 4 feet. All right. And you'll do this all the time, people. I'm going to say finish, and I'm going to say delete that other instance. So I took that other one out, right? So now I've got my subregion in here. Let me go shade it so I can see, right? So I need to move my trees back some, so I'll grab all my plantings and I'm just going to scoot them back so they're just over the road here. And then I'm going to come in here and say subregion. And now I'm going to put my subregion back. I'm just going to come in here like this. And I'm going to say this dimension here, I'm going to make it 40 feet. All right, that's 40 feet. I'm going to align this portion to the edge right there, right? And now I'm going to just draw a line from here, again, up about 14 feet. And draw that over to there. I'm going to offset that 12 feet, kind of like we did before, right? All I'm doing is giving myself a way to pull into that part of the parking lot. I'm going to split this line right there, and then I'm going to trim here and here, trim here and here, and I'm just going to leave that kind of like that for right now. Oh, forgot to put my last line in there. I do that a lot. Subregions can touch, they just can't intersect. So it's saying, oh, I got to trim there as well. And then I can finish that. And I'm okay there. And then I can say mirror, right? And I'm going to say pick this axis right in the middle. And it's saying the subregions can't intersect. So I have to figure out a better way to do it. Maybe, you know what I'm going to do? Maybe I can, let's see, what if I mirror it from the middle of the road instead? Let's use that. That was probably part of our problem. And again, people, you'll do this kind of stuff all the time when you are actually drawing. You know, I'm just going to come out here from that line. Let's try that line. What if I mirror draw axis from here like we did before? Look at that, touched right on. Now, this can come up and get a little closer to the road if we want. No big deal there. Maybe I can come up a little closer from the road and say, let's see if this 5 feet, you'll see, hear me use that 5 feet an awful lot, you know, and that's just because that's a typical setback once you're on a lot. So if you're wondering why I say 5 feet a lot of times, okay. So now that's what we've got. Now, what if we did a 3D view and we look at a 3D view of our site? Oh, okay, that doesn't look too terribly bad now, right? We got some trees on here. We got places to turn in there. We can park. How can we put some parking in there? Let's look at that. What if I say, if I go to massing inside and I say parking component, look at the parking spaces. Those are the straight ones, or they have angle ones. Maybe we can do 60 degrees, right? So as you can see, not a ton of parking as you're seeing right now, right? So as you're thinking, that's one thing that you got to plan well for is your parking. So what you're probably seeing is we'll probably have to do some adjusting to our parking. Maybe this is special parking up here right now, but what's tough about parking is that in order to make something like this work, we've got to have places for cars to be able to turn and get around one another. So what could we do to remedy this? What if we said our lot was bigger? You know, what if we had a bigger site to build on? You know, that would be one of the answers for that. I'm not going to worry too much about it right at this moment, but I just kind of want you to see that when you're planning, you got to plan so that you have enough parking for the people in your building. Maybe we'd say the parking is somewhere off over here. Maybe the site got bigger this direction, or maybe the site got bigger this other direction. I'll kind of think about it and come up with a solution for you guys for Thursday, but likely what's going to happen is we're going to make our lot bigger than 250 feet, right? Which means we could have more floors in our building, but we're not going to do that either. I see how one thing affects the other, okay? That's what I want you to kind of see with all of this. I'm going to go ahead and delete that model line, and that's going to be pretty much it for today. So it's good that we've got a few of our sheets in. Remember, we got our, if you go down here, you should at the end of today, or at the end of your lessons here today, have enough sheets in there. We've got the first A101, which is unnamed right there. This one, we're going to go ahead and call this site plan. Okay, so there's the site plan one. Now that's renamed, and we've got site plan first floor, second through fourth, and then we're going to add a couple of detail sheets on Thursday, and hopefully over the next few days after that, we're going to wrap it up. We've got our general information sheets. Remember those? Make sure you get those in there. Okay. What I'd probably like to do, I'd like to replace the logo in there. I really don't want the Autodesk logo, but if we leave it in there, we can always replace it with another title block. Maybe I'll create another title block for you to insert Thursday. It won't be too hard for me to do it because all you'll do is just simply click it and come up here and change it to the other one. But we've got a placeholder for now, and that's all that matters, okay? So try your best to get caught up to where we're at, so it'll be that much easier for you to get where we need to get Thursday. And if nothing else, I will not see you guys. I'll make myself available tomorrow evening if I need to, but I'm going to try and have that final for the sustainability class posted for you so you can get started on it tomorrow morning. All right. And if nothing else, I will see you on Thursday morning for our final session together. All right.